And a growing trend, vehicle residence. You may have heard of it or maybe not. In Utah, more than 2,800 people are living on our streets, according to a 2018 report from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Well, among them, there's a smaller group of people who live from their cars. ABC4's Jason Wynn joins us in studio with who these people are and why we all should know a bit more about them.
Emily, these folks are known by many to be vehicle residents. They're people who are living out of their cars, trucks, vans, and RVs as their only way to survive. It's not hard to spot a homeless person in Utah. Most are living in plain sight. But when was the last time you reached out to one of them or listened to one of their songs? The gesture is simple, and it means the world to some.
We pray. We pray about what we're doing, where we're staying.
It's not easy living on the streets or explaining it.
Her kid asked me, you know, why are these people doing this? And I looked at, and she didn't have an answer for her kid. And I says, well, our home is very tiny, but our backyard's as big as we want it to be.
Some unsheltered homeless are lucky enough to have a roof over their heads like the Lindquists, but they're always on the move.
We would like to have a place where we can go to every night.
Kim and Clark Lindquist, along with their dog Jack, live out of their van. The government considers them vehicle residents. It's a reality they've lived with since last October.
We felt like we had to be self-reliant and not reliant on other people, not be reliant on the church, not be reliant on other people helping us out.
You see, Clark and Kim met half a lifetime ago in their late teens down in Texas at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints dance.
There's a difference between how you feel then and how you feel now, and it just gets better every day.
The couple hit years of financial trouble, causing them to lose their home and belongings.
A number of small decisions and too much blaming other people and not taking responsibility for your own actions.
Clark makes it very clear alcohol and drugs were never an issue.
We have never had substance problems.
The Lindquists both work full-time jobs. Clark works at a West Valley warehouse and Kim works in child care. Both have full benefits.
I feel like we're actually doing better now almost than we ever have in our life.
The Lindquists are a part of a growing trend of people living in their vehicles for one reason or another. Since there's no official way to document vehicle residents, they get thrown into the unsheltered category of homeless, along with people who set up tent camps. In 2016, the Department of Housing and Urban Development annual homeless assessment report stated Utah had 2,807 homeless, and of that, 236 homeless lived unsheltered. Both numbers grew in 2018 with 2,876 homeless and 420 living unsheltered. The state of Utah's 2018 annual report on homelessness says 417 were adults.
We're saying here, we believe in you, we love you, we support you.
Jorge Fierro runs Rico Brands and the Burrito Project SLC. The project involves a group of volunteers who deliver nearly 500 rice and bean burritos to the homeless each week. It's a project close to Clark's heart.
He not only admits in the fact that he's had it a little rough, but he's been here, volunteering his time to go and feed other homeless.
I honestly believe that part of living this lifestyle is that you have to help other people, and in turn, they'll help you.
Clark looks up to Jorge because he was homeless when he came to the U.S. from Mexico. Jorge took some time to get established and now pays it forward to the same community that saved him, the one the Lindquists find themselves in.
Clark is a very special guy because he is one that is being extremely aware of the fact that there are people like myself and my group and the group that we have here, that we reach out.
That companionship Clark likes to have led him to the Legacy Initiative. They got the family back on their feet financially by connecting them with other community resources.
They're a huge success story in my opinion. I mean, they've gone from, having places to live to unfortunate situation financially to living out of their van to now it sounds like they're, starting to climb out of that a little bit and saving some money and trying to, get a place again.
Their dream place, a tiny home nestled in a big yard.
Every day we're a little closer, and some days we fall a little shorter than others, but every day we make a little bit of progress towards that, and that's what counts.
What counts more to the Lindquists and many more of our homeless? A simple gesture of reaching out.
Ask me the question. I'd rather have you ask than make an assumption about me.
Advocates we spoke to say most of us are 1 to 2 paychecks or a bill away from becoming homeless, and many Utahns may face the same hard choice Clark and Kim had to make because of it.
All right, and Jason, this just begs the question. You say these vehicle residents move from place to place to place often. Why is that then?
It's so that they don't become victims of crime themselves, because if they stay in one place too long, somebody actually may target them.
Of course. And then police and the law. What does all of that play in these vehicle residents' lives?
Well, from what Clark and Kim tell me, if you're honest about your intentions with law enforcement, just like if you were seeing somebody park at a park or on a street and were kind of nervous about them and went up and asked them what your intentions are, and if they're honest with you, the question then becomes, do you let them stay?
And what are police doing for a lot of these residents?
Well, if they're not in a park where they can't stay overnight, a lot of times they just let them go.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your story tonight, Jason. We appreciate it.